Well, hey, welcome to my shop again. I'm going to do another video on my band clamps. Now the band clamp I'm talking about is made from 40-pound nylon cord. Very simple device, very easy to make. Years ago I got tired of metal band clamps breaking, getting clogged up with glue, just a problem. So I went and bought some 40-pound cord from the big box store like this. Just regular 40-pound nylon cord. I brought it home, and then after I brought it home, it didn't take long to figure out how I'm going to use it. Very simple device. Now, all my subscribers know I did a video on this already years ago on how to make one. I drilled it out, and I used a bandsaw to cut the notches in the ends. And then, later I made a stop block for it. It's easy to use. It slides up and down. Don't have to tie it anymore. So now, I've decided to make one that's easier to make it in a different manner. So what I'm going to do is make a couple, both just a little bit different, but both real easy. Now I've got some material here. I got some white oak, don't have to be white oak. It's just a little bit thicker than the cord. Just a little bit thicker than the cord, all it's got to be. I got some Jatoba. Now for this, you want some pretty strong wood. This is just a little over a 1/4 inch. Now the dimensions ain't exact. I mean, I got different ones that vary. And like I said, you want very hard wood for the outside pieces. So this is going to be the inside pieces. I'm going to make the outside pieces with this. Now I've got 3 right here. All of them are 6 inches long. This one's about 5/8 inch thick. This one, almost 3/4 of an inch thick. And this one here is 1/2 inch thick. And this one's 1.25 inches across. And these are both 1.5 inches. So like I said, the dimensions ain't really that critical. What is critical is the hole in the middle's got to be big enough so that when the cord's twisted, it's got room to twist in it. And then the groove at the bottom's got to be big enough for the cord to ride in, and the piece on the top's got to be like a valley for the screwdriver or whatever you use to twist it. I always use a screwdriver, but I tried using a piece of dowel, but it got tore up pretty fast. So metal's the best thing, and I find a regular screwdriver works great. So, the first thing I'm going to do is take one of these pieces, and I'm going to cut a groove down the middle. We'll use a table saw. I'm going to make a pass, and I'm going to move it over and make another pass about 1/8 of an inch deep and maybe 1/4 of an inch wide. So I'm going to do that on the table saw on one of these pieces. I got 3 pieces. I'm only going to use 2. I got 3 pieces. And you could use a router to do the same thing. Just put a little groove in it, about 1/4 inch wide, about 1/8 inch deep on it. Yeah, I got 2 pieces. I got a groove down this one, right down the middle. It's just about It's a little bit less than a quarter. Should be okay. And it's about an 1/8 inch deep. So it's a pretty good groove. Could have made it a little bit wider, but I think this will do good. And this one here don't have any groove. I'm going to make it different. Now I'm going to cut them both. So I got 2 pieces of this 6 inches long and 2 pieces of this 6 inches long. So I'm going to cut them both in half. I got the white oak cut into 4 pieces. What's going to happen, I'm going to do the white oak on here and on here, leaving enough on the bottom for the string to guide the string. Now I'm going to put the top piece over it, like so. But first, I got to take the white oak and round one corner over. That way, so when the string feeds in, it won't go over a sharp corner, it'll be rounded. Do that to all 4 pieces of white oak. And then these, I got to take one in and kind of round it over so that the screwdriver will have a kind of a valley to sit in when I glue them together. So I'm going to do all of those right now. Okay, I've got all these rounded over on one end so that when I glue them in, see it, the string will run right over them, won't have to go over a sharp corner. And I've got all of these round on one end, give a place for the screwdriver to sit, hold it so it won't spin. Okay, I put some marks down this about 3/4, 3/16 on each side of the center. What I'm going to do is glue these on right to the top, and the bottom will have a spot left for the string to ride in. I might have to shorten this up a little bit more and give it a little bit more space. I don't know. But I'm going to glue them on just like that, one on one side and one on the other. Just like that. These are glued up now, both of them. The one with a groove and the one without the groove. Now I'm going to put the other half on. Have to line it up. Line it up, make sure everything's square. Make sure the bottom comes together even. So I'm going to put some glue on it, line it up, and clamp it down, both of them. Just like that. Well, the glue on those are drying. I'm going to make a couple of sliding stop blocks like this. Very simple device, and it slides easy. Much easier than tying knots in it. You can loosen them up. And then you can slide them whatever size you want, and it holds. So I'm going to make a couple of those, not necessarily this shape. I'm going to use these 2 pieces of wood here and just make a couple of stop blocks that slide along the string, easy to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a hole in the middle for both strings to come through, and then I'm going to put 2 holes on each side, just big enough for one string. And it comes out the middle, goes over to edge hole and comes back up through the middle hole on both sides. So first of all, like I said, I'm going to put a hole in the middle. Now I'm going to drill 2 holes on the side. The holes on the side are, let me see. I'm going to use 11/64. You can use it a little bit bigger if you want. 11/64 should work just fine. For the hole in the middle, I'm going to use something just a little bit bigger than 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I've got 2 pieces with a 9/16 inch hole in the center. Now, on both sides of the center, I'm going to put the smaller holes on both sides of the center in a straight line. I'm pretty close. Okay, I got them marked. I'm going to drill holes 1/4 inch from the edge of the center hole, from the edge of it, not from the center of it, and a 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch out and a 1/2 inch out on both sides, both pieces. Both of these have got 5 holes drilled in them, and they'll work just like they are now. Of course, I'm not finished yet. I got to shape them some. But one of them, this one, I'm going to cut a groove in the top for the string to kind of sit in. And that will make it hold even tighter. Just put a little groove in it that the string will sit in. And that'll hold even tighter. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a groove in that, if I can. I think I can. Okay, I got a groove cut in the top of one. I'm going to sand them down and shape them a little bit. They're way, way bigger than what they need to be. Even thicker probably than what they need to be. So I'm going to go over to sander and I'm going to shape them some, knock some corners off, grind them down, make a shape that I like. Of course, you can make them any shape you want. So I'm going to go work on them on this sander. Okay, I got them sanded down and shaped. They should work pretty good now. Got them nice small sized, and I sanded them a little bit. Not real pretty, but on tools I don't normally do real pretty. I do them so they'll work, and these should work good, especially the one with a groove in the top. Now all I got to do is wait for the glue to dry on the other 2 pieces. The one that I didn't groove, what I'm going to do is run a drill bit through. The hole that's already there will make a good guide, and just run a drill bit in from both ends to the middle. I'll start with a small drill bit and then I'll go bigger. Okay, the stop blocks are ready. These, I'm going to let the glue dry some more. After the glue dries some more, I'm going to take the one with no grooves. I'm going to run some drill bits through it, smaller and then bigger and bigger and bigger, till I get the size I want. But, like I said, I'll let the glue dry some more. I'll let it dry till it gets good and strong. Using tight bond, so I'm just going to let them dry a while. Come back to them later. I got to go out and eat dinner. Okay, this one I took and I started with a small drill and used the hole in it as a guide, and then kept getting bigger and bigger drills till I got to this one. I think this one's 17/64, I don't know. Just a little less than 3/8 of an inch. Run it through both ends. Got a good hole in the center now. This will work fine. Now the other one, where'd I put it? Other one, I could have made the cutout just a little bit wider on the table saw. Well, it'll work fine, but like I said, I could have made it just a little bit bigger. It would look better, but it'll work. So, those are both ready to go. I can put this drill bit away. The piece of nylon cord you cut, of course, will depend on the length of the diameter of the segments you plan on doing. I usually do 6 to 8 inch, but once in a while I'll do a 14 or an 18 inch. So I cut a plenty long piece. And you can see here how this is laced in. Down through the middle, back through the outside, and then up through the center holes. So I got this ready to go. Easy to adjust. But now, I have to put it in here. Putting here is easy. I take a piece of small wire. I put a small hook on one end. Just a very small hook. Now run the wire through. This is the end that goes against the segmented ring. Run the wire through. Hook the cord over it. Pull the cord through, real simple. Now, I'm ready to give it a try. Let me get my segmented ring back. Okay, I got the loop ready. Way too big for this. But the stop block is easy to slide up. Get this. I find it's best to put right on a joint on a ring. Pull the strings out, bring the stop block up to it. Then pull the outside rings up. Take your screwdriver or other steel rod or brass rod or whatever you want. Man, that's plenty tight. It's holding good. I didn't get it centered before I tightened it up. I should have. But this is just a demo. There it is, easy to use. Now, the one I've been using, this string's covered with glue. I've been using it for a long time. Still using it, still usable, even though it's all covered with glue. It ain't time to change the string yet. Of course, it probably won't be long now. I've used it quite a bit. And this is the stop block without the groove, and it's holding tight, real tight. It ain't letting go at all. Easy to adjust, easy to use. So, this is how you can make one easily out of 4 pieces. Or you can do it the way I originally did it. Just drill through a piece from both ends, get on the bandsaw and cut a square slot one end, and kind of a valley in the other end, and that works good. This one here is made from bloodwood. Might be Jatoma. No, it's bloodwood, I think. And it works great. It's a little bit wide. Don't have to be this wide. And the stop blocks are super easy to make. I originally didn't have stop blocks. I was just tying a knot in it. But that too was a pain, trying to loosen the knot and move it. But these are easy to move, and they hold good. And you're not going to break this cord. You can tighten them up as tight as you want around the segmented ring. Now, I made bunches of them. I've got too many of them laying around now. Need to throw some away, I think. So I hope you understood what I'm trying to show and how I made them originally, how I made them now, how easy it is to do and how well they work. Throw away your old metal band clamps. They're just a pure pain. And I think my next video I'm going to make a small solid bowl. I've been wanting to do one with bloodwood and some African blackwood trim. Now, I got a whole bunch of little pieces of African blackwood I bought one time. I bought a whole bunch of little pieces, all different sizes. You know, you say, what can you do with them? Well, what I can actually do with them is cut them in small pieces and use them to make a segmented ring. I'm doing them on one at a time, just like open segments, but closed segments. Of course, the last one you have to adjust the fit. If I make a small ball out of bloodwood with African blackwood trim, I'll show how I do it, putting them on. Anyway, I think that's what I'll do. So please come back and see my next video. Subscribe, that would help me a lot. And thank you for watching.